Hey guys, welcome to Podsnaija, the listening hub of the century. Today is going to be different. I also have this feeling that it's special. I met a new friend. She's my guest, yeah, but I feel like we connected on a different level. And we had to change the topic of our podcast as well. And I want to believe that this is like the best decision we have made, yeah? So guys, meet Zainab. Zainab, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Zainab Jibril. I'm also a network engineer from Edo State. So nice to meet you too.
Why would you just tell me you're a network engineer like that? Brag about it. Let the whole world know that you're a network engineer. Guys, she's a network engineer. Like, please, trust me, if I were you, the world will know. I'm a network engineer. Who are you talking to? Anyways, Zainab, nice to have you here.
Thank you.
When I first met Zainab, guys, I felt she wanted to talk about something else. But I told her, because usually there's a process to which I meet my guests and how I coin my topics. I like to know them. I like them to describe who they are to me. And when she described herself to me, she came off as someone who is shy and not shy. Because I felt it was a brave thing to do, to tell me all those things you told me. So we are going to talk about them today. Why are you shy? Tell us why.
Let's say I am actually shy,
okay,
but I'm trying to break that.
Okay.
Like working on myself. So it's more like I have a lot of things I wish I can do, but that fear of trying to do them is what is pulling me back. And then you just look at it like, oh, why are you shy? Why can't you talk? It's not like I don't want to try it. That fear is the one just pulling me back. So the whole thing is you just sum it up like you're too shy to take this action.
And then
just keep
with
to yourself. Yes, exactly.
You know, you mentioned something about some of the things you want to do, you can't do them, or you never had the opportunity to do them because of the kind of parents you had.
Yes.
Like your parents were so strict, you felt there were times you wanted to do some things and they probably shut you down, or they probably override that decision. Do you think that contributed to the way you are now?
Yes, it did. I don't want to look like pointing fingers at them, because more like maybe unconsciously they don't know how they are training us. Maybe they feel it's the best way because of the experience they had with their own parents, or their own bad experience from their own lifestyle. So they're kind of avoiding some things when they're trying to train their own kids. So it's more like, I'm not going to let you go out because I know how harsh the world is. So I'm trying to prevent that from happening to you. But we will look at it like, you're depriving me from a lot of things. So that's why I say, unconsciously, they don't know. More, I would say, the way they brought them up have something to do with their personal character right now. So the way they were the way their parents brought them up, and the way they saw the world in their own time is what they are pushing on us. And in a way, it's kind of controlling the whole character of their kids, their lifestyle, their social life, the way they act, the way they behave, the way they see social, like people around them. So definitely, that's why I keep saying is unconsciously, they might not know how it's affecting us.
Okay, thank you, Zainab. Well, I feel like you are being the good child here, because you are hammering on the fact that they unconsciously. That is fine, I understand all of that. But you mentioned that you studied computer science.
Yes.
However, you wanted to study something else.
Yes.
You know, for people like us, where what I wanted to study, I was confused growing up, because I was good in a lot of things, so I didn't know what I wanted to be. And then, you know, my parents just made it seem like being a doctor is a noble act.
Yes.
So I said, okay, let's pursue medicine. But I didn't study medicine at the end of the day. I don't know. I'm finding my path now. Yes.
Thank you.
But at least then, it wasn't, they didn't change what I wanted to study or what I said I wanted to study. But in your case, it wasn't JAMB that changed it. It wasn't your university that changed it. It was your father that said, you are not studying this course.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it was.
So tell us what you wanted to study, what you eventually studied, and how your father changed that. The moment you let him know that, Dad, this is what I want to be.
Growing up, I had this love for maths. Well, it started from when I had my first crush. Yes.
Keep talking.
Yes, in GS1, and I then walked up to Momsy and I told her that, Mommy, I like this guy, but he doesn't notice me. It's like I'm invisible. And then she said, you don't need to show yourself. Just have something that will stand you out of everyone, and it will speak for you. And I was like, okay, what can that be? GS1 to 3, it's more of math, integrated science, and the rest. And as much as I know integrated science is more of chemistry, and a lot of people hated that, she said, okay, why don't you pick something that people have that fear to go, they hardly pass it. So that when they see you, you'll be like, that particular subject will stand you out. And then I went for integrated science, and I started reading it day and night when my sisters were there watching Super Story. I locked myself in the room, closed the door, and make sure nobody disturbed me with lots of books and all of that. When I got to SS1, I was like, he didn't still notice me, Mommy. And I was like, okay, is there something else you can read? Maybe that integrated science is something he actually knows too. So you won't be noticed because he knows it. And then I went to further mathematics. He bought me SS1 to 3 textbooks, and then I kept reading, like I was literally teaching myself, because she bought me like a lot of textbooks. So that further maths was what I really loved, because it was so easy for me to learn to my own. My dad read engineering, but he doesn't have this patience of trying to teach you the way you will understand it. So I never met him, because my mom, she read English, so she had nothing to do with maths at all. So there was no one to actually teach me. So the only help she could give me was to bring different textbooks. So that love for maths now came up, where I was like, I've always been invisible, and then all of a sudden art student and the other classes were like, the further maths girl. Yes. And the guy told me, I respect you so much. Like, I don't know how a girl will actually have that in general.
Okay. I understand the whole love for math. Let's go back to the crush part. How you got noticed finally?
Yes,
how
finally.
did it make you feel?
It was really like this moment when you want to come to school because of someone that makes you so happy. Like, you're just inside the car, and then you're happy because the moment you see that person, you decide to compose yourself and be like, yes, finally he has arrived. So that was how it was always for me. It was like, I have a purpose of going to school, that person, just because I wanted to see him all the time.
Can you give us the name of this course so that we can officially thank him for making you a genius? Because I've never heard
Yes, his name is
before.
Paul, and the whole school knew about the whole thing.
Oh, okay, so Paul, thank you so much for making Zainab a mathematics.
We are still friends till today.
Oh,
Nigeria,
that's so sweet. Well, I'm going to be praying secretly that things go, further beyond the question. So you loved math, and
Yes.
you decided you'd like to take it up.
Yes,
Make a career out of it.
yes. It was more easier to learn it, and I didn't see it difficult at all. So
Mathematics came so easy for you.
Yes.
Lots of people cannot attest to that. Did your father ever come to terms with how much you loved math, and even considered how it must have felt for him to change your decision?
No, he didn't. It was more like, just go to school and pass. Like, I'm paying the school fees for you. The only person that will sit down and praise you for what you've done, or the gifts you've gotten, or the scores, was Momsy. So she will encourage you, and that praises will give you that, excitement to want to do more to please her. We kids we want to live our life more like, we have that parent that take you as that favorite because I'm named after her. So it was more like, okay, she saw me as a favorite child. Okay, let me keep doing something to please her. So he never saw it like, okay, wow, this is something difficult that my daughter is able to do, but more like, it's your right. You're supposed to do it right. After all, I'm paying for you.
You see, I'm actually, when we're talking before this recording started, it made sense as to why you have not been able to do the things you've always wanted to do. Even now that you have you don't have that freedom yet. Let's agree on that. Yeah. But you have some freedom, but you still have not, you're making money now, you're working, but still you've not been able to come out of that, what's the word? Okay, let's just show that you've been placed, mentally speaking, because we have to agree that this probably affected your mentality apart from your personality. Do you agree that it's probably because of all these things over the years? What other decision did you try as a child that was over? Okay, your parents changed it apart from what you wanted to study. Take your time.
Relationship.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Monsi had this way of talking to her kids. Maybe she had a friend who finally I guess it's her sister, but like, be open to them. Maybe they'll be the one now coming to you to tell you stuff. So my first relationship was my 100 level. So I was so excited. Actually, it started from my sister said, let nobody think you're a lesbian, just finally meet a guy, because I never had one. It was more like in my second year, and each time a guy comes to me, and that fear of what are you even doing here, I would suddenly give them that facial expression to drive them away. So my sister now used that, like, okay, I will set you up with a guy, and sweet words got me excited, and I called Momsi on phone. I was like, Mommy, I have a guy, and she was really happy.
Let's take a pause. You had parents that were strict, but you're always quick to tell your mom about your relationship.
She had this like way of encouraging you that will make you feel like wow, but still would tell you this is the reason. So most times she used it like, I had a dream about you.
She will use dreams to scare you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or she would say, I had an experience just like you have, and then tell you the negative part of what might likely happen. That was what she was always doing. But when I had...
Is it safe to say that she was manipulating your decision?
In a way, yes.
Because if, instead of her, permit me to say, to come
she doesn't want to drive you from telling her, but because if she keep giving that discouragement, we will run. Like, we will tell, I can't tell you anymore. Because
so she uses other strategies to achieve what she really wants you guys to do.
So that we'll listen and be like, okay, my mom said she had a dream. It can be true. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so relationships, your parents kind of also controlled that part of you.
Exactly.
I feel like that is the one thing you should have total control of. But how were they able to penetrate that?
You know, when he suddenly breaks your heart and you be like, she was right. Exactly. Okay. It's always felt like that. So that moment where he breaks your heart and then you come back to her and start telling her, but I told you, I'd be like, I just wish I had listened to her from the beginning. But not knowing the influence of her words will actually reflect on your actions towards him. You get? Because if she keeps telling you, this will happen, all of a sudden you start imagining it's actually happening when it's not happening. So that was what was really affecting. And I noticed that from maybe my third relationship, yes, I started noticing that it was her words that were causing the actions I started displaying to them, and then I would start imagining those things.
It was affecting your relationship with them.
Yes.
So they will now start seeing a change in your behavior.
Exactly.
Not knowing that it's because of, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like we should talk after now, yeah? But after the podcast recording. So guys, Zainab is the good child. Because she has a sister who is the rebellious one. That one she went for a master's and never came back home. Your sister sounds like me, because that's what I would do. So tell us about your sister.
Well, growing up, she was the black sheep. Yes. They always compare her and tell her, why don't you be like your sister? Whereas I was trying to be liked. But my mom easily liked me more than my dad. I think I was trying to focus on him because I wanted him to notice me as that person trying to do something. So most times, first child and last borns are always the dad's favorite. My dad have no issue with her. Yes.
Even as a black sheep?
Yes.
Oh my God.
He keeps saying, I see myself in you.
To her?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. More like her spending attitude, her stubbornness and others. Yes, he keep telling her that. But my mom noticed like, this is not how a girl is meant to act. You're supposed to be more composed and listen and don't argue and all those stuff. She have always been that child. Growing up, we had this when they are going to work and then they separate everyone on different chairs because we're all one year apart, down to the last. So they will separate us, say, you sit down here, you sit down here, you sit down here, separate us on different chairs and say, okay, nobody should move. When it's so and so time, I'll call the landline and then I'll tell your sister to serve food where everybody is. She was that child where the moment he leaves, and then runs out. So she have always been that, and the good child will have to tell.
Okay, so I'm going to give a description here. Growing up, my brother was the extrovert. He was the talkative. I was the reserved one. Now, it got to a point in our teenage years, the tables turned. I started letting my parents know that, see, you guys, this is how I am, And my brother became the quiet one, the reserved one, and he automatically became the favorite. But, when your parents are saying, why are you not like this child? But you know the child, and you know what the child has been doing. Yeah. So in that case, I'm like, is it this scholar that I know that we are going to the same school, that enter school and become something else? Yeah. But we always had each other's back. Was that what also happened to you, where your sister was the rebellious one in court? She was the face of the rebellious association, permit me to say, but you also had tendencies to be rebellious.
Exactly, I did. I remember telling her that I did envy her a lot. Like, so
why
that
didn't
courage.
you just, I don't know, why didn't you just throw caution to the wind or something?
When you keep hearing that, they keep criticizing just one person. Would you want to join that clique at that moment? No, you would prefer
but she's
to
doing things and getting away with it.
Not from my mom. Not getting away with from my mom, because that anger, that shouting, that condemning, even when, she haven't made the action yet, you have already concluded that she's going to definitely be like this, and then she was always sad about the fact that...
Well, my mom will always say, I know your mother, you know yourself too.
Exactly. Yes,
And I used to wonder why she always said that, because I knew she didn't know half of the things I was capable of doing. Well, I feel strongly that a lot of listeners will relate to this podcast, because a lot of our African parents, this our generation, I want to believe we have some, in terms of there's not much age differences between us, I don't know that yet, but your parents sound like my parents. It's just that we were able to come out of it somehow. I didn't go back. Your sister went for masters. Me, it was before masters. I told them I'm not coming back to the house, and I didn't even stay. If I would stay at home, it would be just a few months, and I have something doing that takes me out of the States. Like, we wanted to school. We didn't want to school in Abuja. We were in Abuja before we had admission, It was our earnest desire to school far, far, far away. We went to Bayelsa.
Wow.
13 hours on the road. And we're fine, because we know that if my father wants to come, he will consider that hours on the road. You will think twice about coming to see us or monitor us. You get the picture? That was what I had to do. And we spent 5 years.
Wow.
So they started to change when the first year we didn't go back home. Holiday, we spent it in Bayelsa. They're like, you people will not come home. I won't send food. That's our business. When they saw how serious we were, it became, are you people not going to come home? Come home.
Yeah.
So we knew that, we are starting to take back our lives. gradually. So we come home, we spend a month, we are out again. We come home, we spend a month, we are out again. Even NYC, I do want to come back. I'm like, if I'm coming back from my master's, I'm going straight to the university and I'm renting a place.
Yeah.
And that's how it has been. Okay, that's how it has been so far. But I just feel, in as much as there are similarities between our parents, there's a lot of differences between our characters, obviously. I'm more of your sister, and I'd like her to know that, and I would love to see her one day. And you are more of my brother. Okay, the reserved, the quiet, the ever-pleasing, ever-amazing. They can send you from now to Kingdom Come, I'll be seated down, looking at you, see,
Exactly.
now you want to suffer, you want to suffer, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm also worried about the fact that a lot of kids out there are the way they are, not because that is who they truly are, but because of the influence their parents had over their lives. And it's not so good. It has affected a lot of children, especially those who, not our case, those who were sexually molested but could not talk because they are like, how am I going to say this to my parents? My parents are strict, they are going to kill me, they are going to put the blame on me. We have a lot of children who are going through that right now. I can say a word because of the kind of, how can we change? What will you do differently when you become a parent? I think that's the right question.
Well, in as much as I will avoid what was done to me, the controlling part, I will definitely have this open mind to let my kids talk to me if there was anything I did wrong that they didn't like. At least I would let them be open to let me know when they feel I'm too pushy or I'm like getting too deep into their life. As much as I want to make sure they are safe wherever they're going to. Yes. I just felt I would put a tracking device. That was my plan.
You use the tracking device?
Yes.
You won't use it from you because but I think the only thing I would do differently as a parent is I need my children to be able to say anything to me at any point, like knowing fully well that there are times when they don't need the disciplinarian. There are times where they just need you to listen.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be there. So I need them to be able to say anything. And I've seen a few of my friends who have such relationships with their mothers where they actually tell their parents what is happening in their life. And then their parents in a friendly manner tell them what to do. The punishment is still there, don't get me wrong. If you mess up, you'll be grounded, we'll still be there. But I want a situation where, because I didn't have that, growing up, once our dad comes home, we all run into the room.
Exactly.
What do we want to say? What do you want to say? Once you serve the food, get out.
Yes.
You're either reading a book, let your head be on the book.
Exactly.
But that wasn't it. We weren't reading. It wasn't
Faking.
fun.
Yeah.
We found ourselves wanting to stay back in school even after closing hours.
Yeah.
Because we weren't ourselves at home. So why can't I have my children the way they feel, the way they ought to be at home, and you find the same character in school? I would like to see who they are in school at home, because I'm just going to feel like you are deceiving me, right?
Yes.
Haven't you had a lot of cases where parents come to the school and be like, no, my child cannot do this, but we know that child.
Yes, exactly.
You've had those cases.
Yes.
I'm sure it's because the children know that this is the kind of home I'm going to. I can't express myself there. I need my children to be able to express themselves either. And I'm also very particular about what they want to be. There is something about allowing a child grow out of what they do easily. If they had probably let you study mathematics, who knows? Maybe I'll be looking for booking appointment just to see you. I don't know if you get that picture. Yeah. When you allow a child to grow based on their natural talent, allow them to pursue it. When you pursue something with passion, it doesn't get boring.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's much better than trying to influence and change what they want to study, okay, or what they want to become. And we know we've had parents like that if you mention what you want to be, they're telling you, no. My father was a lawyer, you two are going to be a lawyer. Exactly. By force, by fire. Yeah. That I feel needs to change. So if you had the opportunity to speak to your parents now, what would you tell them?
I don't know how to say I've not found my own life right now. Can you let me be free enough to try different things and not be judged about it?
That's what you would tell them.
Yes, because that fear of I'm going to be judged, like if you tell them stuff like this is what I feel I like, and then you'll be condemned like or compared to something else, that will pull you back. I just want to find myself because I don't even know what I can do. Sincerely, I don't know what I can do. All the decisions right now I make, it's influence of what they have made me to be. In as much as I'm looking for that friend that will pull me out, but still I'm trying my best. I'm trying. So I just want them to let me be. Just like I told you when we started this, I went to an Islamic school. University. He actually put us there because he always have meetings every month in Ilori. It's not like he has any reason to go to Ilori in the first place.
So he put you guys in a university where you know you can sit
at any time.
Wow.
Yes, so he had reasons to always come there to Ilori. So we had this way of, okay, fine, we're forced due to the school's rules. But outside, we always wanted to be something different. And then
No!
So that whole stuff was like, I get to pretend who I don't want to be.
So you found yourself pretending?
Yes, exactly.
Now that you have said what you would love to say if you had the opportunity, are you ever going to say it to them?
As much as I'm scared of the reaction, I don't know when.
You don't know when you will ever say it to them?
Yeah.
I think you would never say it to them.
In as much as my sister walked out, she never said anything to them. She just took that opportunity to do years and then
to do what she wanted and then
come back. We knew her decision quite right, but she just used that. And in as much as she doesn't want to be in bad terms with them, yes, that relationship should still be there. I feel me speaking out, I'll break that relationship.
And you don't want to break that?
I don't.
You still want to be the favorite child?
It's not like I want to be the favorite child. I still want to be the favorite child. But God. I just want them to see, I have done it. I have made it. Look at who I am today. I don't want where that relationship is out like broken and then I can't look at them and tell them that I've made this decision and look at how I am today.
I think that they love you too much to break that relationship, one.
Okay.
I also think that what I would probably say if I had the opportunity would be, I am who you've designed me to be now. Can I now go and be myself? You get but I'm glad you are doing okay. I'm glad somehow you found, something to do. But I hope that you find yourself what you really want to do. I hope you experience the things you want to experience.
I've not found myself. That's the problem.
I hope you do. I really do. I hope that this podcast, giving you an opportunity to share your experience, let your voice be heard, becomes the first step, to finding yourself. All the things you say you've always wanted to do, the experiences you've always, please, by all means, go ahead and do it. Do it.
I just hope Pierre won't just be that master guy standing in front of me, blocking me.
Well, I'm your friend now, so I'll be dragging you. All right, thank you so much, Zainab. This was an amazing podcast. Very interesting personality, very interesting character. I can't wait to see the real you because I'm sure I'm going to love her more. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Please look out for my next episode because it's going to be fire as it has always been. Bye.